Oh, hey everybody. Thanks for joining me again. Troy here, cooking in the kitchen once again. Today I thought I'd do a nice southern dish for you, some smothered steak. Should be pretty good. I'm gonna do an onion type gravy with it. So here's where we're at now. I got me about 2.5 pounds of round steak, and I just kind of trimmed the fat off of it as best I could. You don't have to get it all the way trimmed off, but trim most of it off. And I kind of cubed it up, not cubed it, but chopped it up. You can cut it any kind of piece size you want. Also got some onions back here that that's about 1/2 of a large onion. Just kind of chopped it up coarsely. And I'm putting some garlic powder on these right now. Just kind of coat them down a little bit. Oh, and also over here I've got some oil that is warming up, just regular canola oil. And this is a little onion powder. I'm gonna throw a little bit of this Lowry's seasoned oil on there, seasoned salt. Put a little bit of pepper on there. I'm gonna do this to both sides, and then we're gonna brown each side of this stuff in the oil. I got a little slap your mama, putting some of that on there too. Give it a nice little southern twist there. All right, so kind of pat this down a little bit, get it all happy. Let me do the same the other side. Be right back. All right, got my meat all seasoned up. Just gonna basically fry it off on each of the sides. You don't have to cook it all the way through. Just make sure you brown it up real good. It's gonna take a couple of batches. You don't wanna fill this up and have it all crowded because it'll steam instead of frying up. So I'm gonna brown it on both sides. We'll be back here when I get all the meat done. All right, we back. I got all this meat browned up, and as you can see, I'm even doing the edges. But again, you don't need to cook this all the way through. You just need to sear each of the sides basically. And yeah, that's looking real good, man. You may ask, oh, how do I tell when to turn it? Well, when it looks good, when it's dark. Or, as you can see on this one back here, got a little bit of blood coming up out of there. That's usually a good sign to go ahead and turn it. All right, so let me finish these up, and we'll be right back. All right, it's been just a couple of more minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and pull these out, and they'll finish cooking in the gravy that I'm gonna make here a little bit. All right, so you got all this down here in the bottom. That's good stuff, man. You don't want to get rid of that. What you want to do though, right there at this point, put your onions in there. And everybody makes this dish their own way. I'm just showing you one way that I do it. Get these onions all sauteed down, and they'll sweat a little bit of that water out of them. And you can start scraping the bottom, get that fond off the bottom. And onions usually go pretty quick. Look at that nice color those onions are getting already. All right, do this for another minute or two. We'll be right back. All right, gang, my onions are looking really good. And it's at this point, I want to try to deglaze the pan just a little bit. Got me a little bit of red wine. And yeah, you know. It tastes good enough to drink, it's good enough to cook with. All right, this is going in the pot. Oh. Shut up, dog. All right, so we got that going on in there. Oh yeah, that's gonna deglaze the pan real nice. Let some of that alcohol cook off that wine just a little bit. So go ahead and scrape the bottom of the pan right now. Man. And I started off probably with maybe 1/2 cup of oil, just enough to kind of coat the bottom of this pan. That's pretty good. All right, getting most of that stuff off the bottom there. Boy, that's good stuff. That's what's gonna make your gravy real good, really good. All right, now at this point, like I said, I put probably 1/2 cup of oil in there to start with. And the meat did leach out a little bit of liquid, but I'm gonna put about 1/2 cup of this, just plain all-purpose flour. Go ahead and add that to the mix. And this is gonna be our roux, just like that. Man, it doesn't get any easier than that. Just let this flour cook off for a minute or two. We'll be right back. I forgot to mention, like I do sometimes, you know, get harebrained, but you do want to keep stirring this. just as you were making a real roux. Just keep stirring it, keep scraping the bottom, keep stirring it around. Be right back. I don't know if y'all can see this. Look at that. That fond turned this really a deep chocolate, dark chocolate. All right, so I think we're ready to start adding this some liquid in here, make us a little bit of gravy. What we're gonna do here, T-Roy? Oh, got me a little bit of beef stock. You can use water if you want. I'm gonna start adding me some beef stock, a little bit at a time. And since we're gonna basically be braising or smothering this meat over here, you wanna make enough gravy so that it's the thickness that you want. And usually it's not super thick, but get the thickness that you want and also have enough liquid in it to cover the meat once you put the meat back in. So that's what we're working on. So I'm gonna just keep adding this, keep stirring it and mixing it in. We'll be back here shortly. Bye. All right, so far I've added 132 ounce container of that beef broth. And this is what we got. It's still pretty thick, actually, but it's looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and put the meat back in there. Just rest it in there like that. Boy, this is smelling good already, okay? And I'm not going to put any salt in here right now. I may put some pepper in here. But, so that's what you're looking like. You just want to kind of cover this a little bit. We're going to put the lid on it and let it simmer for quite a while. And what do you do with this juice that came out of the meat? Hell, man, you put that back in there. That's good stuff. Give it a nice little mix. All right, and I am gonna add some more pepper. But the Lawry seasonal and that Cajun seasoning I put in there, that already has quite a bit of salt in there. So I'm not gonna add any salt until I taste it at the end. I do like me some pepper. Just like that. And also you want to throw you some Liam Piran or some other kind of Worcestershire type sauce in there. Probably a tablespoon or so. Just give us some good flavor. Just like so. Alright, we're going to bring this up to a boil. And we're going to turn it down to simmer. Put a lid on it. And we're just going to let it cook until that meat falls apart. And again, check it as you're cooking it. Come stir it every once in a while. If you need to add more liquid, by all means do. Some pots don't have a good fitting lid and you can leak out some of that liquid. It's still kind of thick. I think I will add a little bit more of this beef broth. Like I said, I used one of these containers. I'm gonna use about another half. So there you go. So that would be what, 4 cups plus 2 more, about 6 cups total. And again, we're going to just let this cook. All right, so I'm gonna bring it up to a boil, cover it, and we'll see y'all back here in a little bit when it's almost done. All right, folks, we're about ready to eat. I think this meat's falling apart. What do y'all think? Oh, yeah, babe. Oh, yeah. That's gonna be some good stuff right there. All right, let me get this plated up. We'll be right back. Hey, everybody. Appreciate you sticking with me over here. All right, man. See, got this nice dish. Ooh, man, smells wonderful. Now, I did have to add a little bit of salt and pepper, but you know, that's how it goes sometimes. And Moonshines Roadhouse. Hey, y'all, check out my brother Sean, Moonshines Roadhouse. I'll put a link below the video here. But he did some pork chops, smothered pork chops. That's where I got the idea to do this. Man, I'll tell you what. That's gonna be some fine stuff right here, watch. Man, smothered steak. And if you wanted to, you could keep the steak whole if you wanted to, you know. Well, I'll tell you what. It's cooked about 3 hours. Get you some of these dinner rolls, you know. Sop you up some of that good gravy. Oh yeah, babe. Oh, hang on. I'll do the, gotta do the finger test. Tenderness. Yeah. Yum, yum. Man, I'll tell you what. You let that stuff cook. Okay. Let that stuff cook long enough, it will fall apart. Appreciate you joining me. 2 thumbs up. We'll see y'all next time. Thanks, guys. All right, bye.